Hello and welcome to the final session of the Great Lakes Black Authors Expo and Writers Conference. Again, I'm Robin Hill, the founder of the Great Lakes Black Authors. We're an organization that highlights literary achievements, encourages ongoing literary efforts, and promotes literacy in the African American communities across the Great Lakes region and beyond. And I am glad to say we are wrapping up our conference. But in the meantime, make sure you check out the website, www.glbaexpo.com. Go to the website. There you will see some of the digital programs that we have. We have book tastings, which we piloted last year, which will be coming back this spring, interviewing different authors about different topics. We also have the Storyteller magazine, in which there is a full two-page spread about Jason Blakely, who's right with me here in this magazine, discussing his life and his poet publishing company. And we also have the Great Lakes Black Authors Directory, which you can subscribe to as well and become a member of. When we have requests coming in for speakers or presenters or books to the organization, I will disseminate that information to the organization's directory. So you want to become a part of that if you are a published author. Lastly, make sure before you leave out today, after we get done with this session, stop by the expo. The expo is also within the conference atrium. There's a room for the expo. There are authors there with their booths set up. There are virtual booths where you can go and watch about their books, watch videos, and learn how, and also order their books. Make sure you're supporting these Black authors who have set up their booths in the expo area. To my side, because with this thing, I don't know what's right or left. Jason Blakely, the founder, the owner of Poetry is Life Publishing, is going to present an open mic poetry session to take us out of this conference this year. I'm going to hand this over, and you'll see my face pop back up at the very end. But from this point forward, I am passing it all to you, Jason.
Thank you, Ms. Rob. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the open mic presented by Poetry is Life Publishing, courtesy of the Great Lakes Black Authors Conference and Expo. Special thanks to Ms. Robin and the Great Lakes Black Authors for their hard work in providing a platform for Black authors to be seen and to be heard. My name is Jason Blakely, and I'll be running the open mic today. We have 6 poets, myself included, that will be sharing poetry with you. The other poets are Dion D. Hunter, Starlene Collins Salisbury, Tracy Wiley, Art Chanel, and Sharetta Latrice, all who I've seen or heard in some form or fashion, and I'm sure that you'll be uplifted and learn something today from these wonderful poets. I'd like to share a quote from Audre Lorde, which is featured on the back cover of the Black Experience compilation book of poetry and other writings that I published this month. And the quote says, "If I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies and eaten alive." And with that, I'd like to share what I'll be reading to you today. The first piece is the introduction to the Black Experience compilation, and that is titled Being Black. It seems to be more pain when we die than joy when we are born. Father Time disconnected from Mother Earth, trust becomes a tangled umbilical cord. If Father Time is a Black man and Mother Earth is a Black woman, is there any hope for their children? Those who believe God is white say that his experiment creating Blacks failed. Our blood is a source of renewable energy, stem cells. They create disease, create a war on drugs, then throw us in themselves. They convince us we are saving money, got us couponing with EBT cards, watching for those weekly meat sales. Our experience seems to be inaccurately translated to make any tragedy our fault and any success theirs. History is a game of hide and go seek. The system cleverly hides what's real, makes it so hard to find to the point where we no longer care. It becomes a new game, truth or dare. They dare us to find the truth. When we expose it, they shoot. When we exercise our right to protest, they lie on our legacy of peaceful activity. They try to water down our existence. We die. They loot. When we have concrete proof, they fail to prosecute. Our vote they prostitute. The system's love and justice and peace are unfamiliar taste, budding on our tongues. Yet we are hypocrites in our history. Just as this nation in the schools they teach, their approach to Black history is very white, but we also need to practice what we preach. Our feet speak Jordan, KD, LeBron, Kyrie, and other athletes. We escape from poverty to the professional basketball court with the savior mentality. Our homes seem to be in court. The judges mortgage our time. We foreclose on our future's credit line. Our women say to the men, I'm pregnant, and we say the familiar line in response to responsibility, well, it's not mine. But I must say this about LeBron. I admire and respect his example as a family man and his humble giving back. I promise to do my best. I don't have his excessive financial wealth, but I promise to be my genuine self. At times, our minds are washed in the cheap detergent of this American dream. We need to spend money and resources in our own community. We fool ourselves trying to climb a greasy pyramid scheme. Celebrities magic trick themselves into politicians, hide themselves in the heaven of Christians, storm themselves into the lion's den, then want to be rescued and redeemed like Daniel. They have ideas like give teachers guns in schools instead of giving them more money and resources to teach the troops, students. Where were the border walls of immigration when it came to the slave ships? This country has long been destroying families with the whips of separation and our culture with appropriation. A nation fed off the freeload. Why can't we truthfully say to love and peace and justice like Janae Ayeko, I'll go everywhere you go. We'd rather be bad at being bougie and take off any positive influence we make in our culture because we are set in our ways. But there is hope. The intelligence, the ingenuity of Black Wall Street is proof that we can compete and also win. Those who destroyed it realize that they are a part of us. We make them complete and they hate it because they can't explain it. They debate it with the fake news they have created, like liberty and justice for all. We slip through the cracks like the crack they gave to our communities. They just watch us fall. One hand is extended in government programs, while the other hand is hidden, writing laws designed to middle finger you. What goes around comes around. Your time in the throne is up. Rise up, souls, rise up and claim your throne. There are no projects, ghettos, or subsidized homes in heaven. So while we have the chance, let's learn our lesson. History may be a curse, but it is also a blessing. And our blood is the strength from those who hang from trees and were killed in the streets. Their voices scream out, behold your truth. Carry it like Jesus' cross, but know there is a cost for salvation. There is a divine will our souls can feel. One day all of our pain will be healed. Don't fear evil or hatred. For those who work in faith and abide in truth and love, know that heaven is patient. And that's the introduction to being Black, the Black experience. Next poem I'd like to read to you is called 100 Shades of Black. And I read this poem a few times. 100 Shades of Black. There is a difference between February and the rest of the year. Black. Selling bootleg movies, incense, and essential oils for the low at the gas station. Black. Auntie takes her big purse to the grocery store and you walk in front of her while she walks down the meat aisle and tells you to say chicken if you see a store clerk. Black. 4-hour church service. Black. Drink red Kool-Aid out of mayonnaise jars. Black. Bologna with the ring around it. Black. Make one trip with all the groceries because we don't want to come back to the car. Black. Heart disease. Black. High blood pressure. Black. Grandma's cooking. Black. Jiffy cornbread, hot water cornbread, cake batter. Black. Licking the spoon, getting hit with the same spoon. Black. Pinto beans, Great Northern beans, black-eyed peas, red beans, and rice. Black. Make sure you wash and season your meat before you cook it. Black. Cast iron skillet. Black. I made it, so you're gonna eat it. Black. Put hot sauce on everything. Black. Can't eat everybody's potato salad. Black. Sugar does not go in spaghetti. Black. Diabetes. Black. Infant mortality. Black. Generational poverty. Black. Preschool to prison. Black. Tuskegee syphilis experiment. Black. We go into the pool. You know how to swim, right? Black. Newport Menthol 100s. Black. MD 2020 Wild Irish Rose Thunderbird Colt 45 Crown Royal. Black. Street lights about to come on. Black. Go pick a switch and it better not be a little one. Black. Hand me down clothes and love and debt. Black. More faith in the preacher than the God he or she preaches about. Black. You know I gotta play my numbers. What's your birthday? Black. Murray's Pomade Pink Oil Moisturizer. Just for me. Black. Talk about my dad all you want, but if you talk about my mama, we gonna fight. Black. Sanford and Son. Black. Good Times. Black. 227. Black. The Jeffersons. Black. Reading Rainbow. Black. Bernie Mac Show. Black. Martin. Black. Family Matters. Black. The Boondocks. Black. Everybody Hates Chris. Black. Go Back to Africa. Black. Crabs in a Barrel. Black. Support black owned till they no longer own. Black. Hey bro, you gotta get you a white girl. That's where it's at. Black. Black women are too aggressive. They got too much attitude. Black. Light skin versus dark skin. Black. Once you go black, you never go back. Black. You're not black enough. Black. Taking ER off and adding an A doesn't take the pain of slavery and racism. But you can't say that because that's anti. Black. Leave and don't come right back. Black. Name not on birth certificate. Black. Baby mama. Black. Baby daddy. Black. Side chick. Black. Side nick. Black. Barack and Michelle Obama. Black. Mary Kenner. Black. Maya Angelou. Black. Toni Morrison. Black. Serena Venus Williams. Black. Ruby Bridges. Black. Nina Simone. Black. Marie Van Britton Brown. Black. Henrietta Lacks. Black. Dick Gregory. Black. Paul Mooney. Black. Colin Kaepernick. Black. Terry Crews. Black. Steve Harvey. Black. Kanye West. Black. Michael Jackson. Black. Bill Cosby. Black. R. Kelly. Black. Blacks for Trump. Black. Candace Owens. Black. Azalea Banks. Black. So, Jesse, is this how we build our empire? Black. Father to son. What do you mean you don't like girls? Black. Mother to daughter. Listen, if you're going to give it up, you might as well get paid for it. Black. We don't go to the hospital. Black. We don't talk about mental illness. Black. We don't talk about sexual assault. Black. We keep those things in the family. Black. Depression. Black. Suicide. Black. Sickle cell. Black. Jail cell. Black. Crack addict. Black. Trap music. Black. HIV/AIDS. Black. Corner store. Black. Caution tape. Black. Accepted to all Ivy League colleges. Black. HBCUs. Black. Hey, I see you. Black. You gonna be just like your daddy. Black. God is. Thank you. And next up, we have Miss Dion D. Hunter.
Wow, very powerful.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you guys having me today. This has been an exceptional event all around. If you like the poetry that you're about to hear, please be sure to look me up on YouTube under Poetess Red. That's REDD, Poetess Red, REDD. Or you can find me on Facebook under Dion, DIONNE, D Hunter. And I want you all to remember that our history did not begin on the deck of any slave ship. My first poem is called I Can't Breathe. 3 seemingly simple words are changing the course of history and driving protesters into the streets. I can't breathe. I can't breathe has been the final cry of too many of my brothers and sisters. And I can't breathe because their lack of oxygen is either caused by the boot on their neck or the stranglehold society has on the positive impact African Americans have had on all aspects of American history. I can't breathe because popular culture has been lulled into believing that there should be no ill effects from the scars left behind by 400 years of slavery, or by receiving land only to have it stolen and pilfered back in the name of a robbery known as sharecropping, or by the fraud and theft surrounding the freedman's bank, or by living with the results of the Black codes, Jim Crow, redlining, or even terrorism or murder. I can't breathe because I take the time to remember and mourn the innocent lives lost during the race massacres of New Orleans, Camilla, Colfax, Cincinnati, just to name a few. I can't breathe because even after enduring all those atrocities, Blacks have made astonishing bounds that are regulated to the halls of the obscure, while textbooks feign false adoration for 3 or 4 of our kinfolk. I can't breathe because all people need to know the positive influence their forefathers had on civilization. Why do you believe that we are any different? Where are our statues? Where are our monuments? I can't breathe because while you proudly fly the Confederate flag, ranting that your history and heritage are so important, you shout that Blacks should just forget theirs and move on. How can those two mentalities exist on the same timeline, let alone on the same consciousness? I can't breathe because even slave owners received reparations for the loss of their human property, and their heirs still reap the benefits of their ancestors' crimes against humanity. Yet the men and women whose open wounds bled as they helped to build this more perfect union received no payment for services rendered. And the only inheritance set aside for their descendants is your intolerance and condemnation. I can't breathe because it's so hard to understand that separate but equal only ended 66 years ago, and that in truth, separate was never equal. Unjust laws meant to shackle Black families into generational deprivation ensured that fact. And I can't breathe because systematic racism is being compared to behaviors of a small criminal minority in an effort to water down the bloodstains left behind by both, even though each has a direct correlation to the other. And I can't breathe because when you attempt to steal the pride and history of an entire population, unwanted repercussions will be had by all. But raise up a community, teaching them of their accomplishments. And like a garden that has been properly fertilized, a great harvest shall be laid at at our country's feet instead of finding a barren wasteland where no one, not even you, can breathe.
Mhm.
Thank you. This next poem is a statement on the hypocrisy of the Star-Spangled Banner. It's called The Good Old Days. They often ask, can't we go back to the good old days when protesters were like Martin Luther King Jr., peaceful? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? We answer, have you forgotten he was murdered as well? What so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming. Hoses, dogs, batons beat faces and heads, causing blood to spill. Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Jail cells moaned for release as they were filled past capacity with Black men in three-piece suits. Or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, bridges blocked on a bloody Sunday. And the rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in air, a church firebombed, flames dispatching 4 innocent little Black girls off to see heaven's gates, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Volunteer voter registrars shot in their car as peaceful protesters were found dead on the side of a dimly lit road. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Young Black men sent to fight and die in war. Yet here, sharing a lunch counter with whites was against the law. Or the land of the free and the home of the brave. Were those really the good old days?
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Next, we have Miss Starlene Collins Salisbury.
Thank you. This is amazing.
It is. Yes.
I felt that last one. I felt that. Wow. So I have one to read. It is just something small. I don't have a website. I write as a therapy for the most part. This poem is Please Don't Make Mistakes About My Melanin. Because as we know, this is something we often come across. Oh, she's trying to be white, whatever that is. You mean the way that I was taught to speak? My parents meant business when we were growing up. Yes, I said parents. Oh, you thought I came from a single parent home. Please don't make mistakes about my melanin. I had my firstborn at 18, along with a full course load at Kent State University and a full-time job. I don't have a baby daddy. I think that sounds tacky. I choose to educate my own children. I let the schools help me. You thought this young mom needed the schools to help to educate? Those are my kids. Why would I? Please don't make mistakes about my melanin. To the cashier, why would you push EBT? I wish. To the receptionist at the doctor's office, no, it's not Medicaid. Here's my copay. You can't look it up. To the librarian, yes, that book is on my son's reading level. To the lady surprised at the wisdom I've had, it's part of who I am. To the older lady clutching her purse when I walk by, I don't want your stuff. Hell, maybe I should hold mine a little tighter. I ask that you please don't make mistakes about my melanin. Yes, I work since I was 13. Yes, I'm educated. Yes, I'm melanated. Yes, I'm proud. No, you can't take any of that away with any of your mistakes about my melanin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Next, we have Miss Tracy Wiley. Tracy Wiley.
Good afternoon, everyone. I thank you for inviting me this afternoon to share my poetry with you. And the first one I'm going to read is entitled March On. As I close my eyes, I'm taken back to 1955, where the front of the bus, front of the line, front part of most everything was only for whites. Blacks couldn't drink from the same water fountains, eat at the same establishments, nor use the same bathrooms for fear of retribution imposed by a corrupt constitution. It just wasn't right that colors had to fight for what should have been theirs equally, but was taken away by a self-proclaimed democracy. Circa 2021, I can go pretty much anywhere I please. And sometimes I have the tendency to hop on a bus where I have my choice of seats. Thank you, Rosa Parks. But I'm a bit perturbed by the sagging jeans and pajamas worn as fashion statements, disturbed by the loud, unadulterated conversations punctuated with this in and that be ain't ish, spilling from the mouths of males and females alike. Silently, I will them to be quiet, because although we have freedom of expression and speech, they really don't understand what the First Amendment of the Constitution means. That the battle for civil rights wasn't fought for degradation or hateration towards our own race. It was a fight wrought with many highs and lows that now enable us to stand in positions of CEOs, owners of our own, and yes, even president of companies, and better yet, a country. So let's take pride in our varied accomplishments to achieve equality, implementing what our forefathers taught and struggled hard for by acknowledging and showing respect to open doors. We must wake up and purposely strive to obtain what was envisioned through the eyes of Dr. Martin Luther King. We owe it to his legacy to live the dream.
Wow, very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
And then I have one more that I'd like to read. It's included in Jason's compilation, The Black Experience book, and I thank you for selecting this piece. It's entitled Ancestry. Ancestors victimized, roots vaporized, existence nullified. Freedom, no longer mine. Name Americanized, fate compromised, spirit demoralized. Humanity, fallen by the wayside. Faith gentrified, character generalized, race ostracized. Equality, oftentimes still denied. Yet here I stand, resilient, proud, majestic, created for a purpose. An irrefutable fact, I am history personified, history made, history replayed. I am Black.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Next, we have R. Chanel. R. Chanel.
Greetings, everybody.
Hello. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. And I would like to read 2 poems today. Both of these poems are actually available in the recorded version on Amazon and on Spotify. And please feel free to follow me on Instagram under Real Arsenal and on Twitter under Arsenal. It was like, I do thank you for this opportunity to share my ministry, which is poetry. The first poem I'm reading is actually in the book available by Poetry is Life Publishing. It's called Crazy Boy. Hey, crazy boy, why you acting like that? You talk funny, you walk funny. Why you acting so black? Angry boy, why you so mad and me mugging so hard? Paramount Pictures should buy your story. You who are nothing without God, you should be happy. Freedom is ringing. You're free at last. Yeah, give them your story so the bootleggers can bootleg it and the producers can lace the soundtrack. Nutty Professor, Big Mama's House, Medea's Family Reunion, Color Purple, and that crazy black boy that sounds like a groupie in his MySpace video blog, yet he's telling the truth, boy. What can I say? He gets attached like a pit bull that has tasted blood with jaws of steel. That is a metaphor representing the stereotypes of society that detain my black brother, like the hard cold grip of his past, the hood. He's like a 5-disc CD changer. Be careful what button you push because you don't know what you're going to get. Don't let him drown you, who he looks up to. He's going to drown in misery as the baby who can't swim. You call yourself a prophet, prophesy to his dry bones that lay in the heat of life, smoldering and withering. Prophesy the breath of life. Hey, crazy boy, we're praying for you, yet we're getting joy at your expense, laughing hysterically on the inside. Don't you know, a wicked generation, that the 7 eyes of God sees your 70 times 7 evil spirits, yet you sit and paste your poison all over the sanctuary? Vengeance is the Lord's. How can you who are wicked speak something good? I look, evil lurks, but shows your face. When I would do good, evil is always present. With tainted love, he listens to the music, disregarding the testimony of the waterfall. He packs his bags and waits by the door, singing. The white man in his white coat is coming to label me mentally unstable, a danger to others, a danger to myself. One slip of my faith as I fall on my face, but they don't have a heaven or a hell to put me in. They come to me, trying to make me believe something is wrong with me. Cunning, coy. They said the same thing to Jesus when he said, destroy this temple and I will raise it in 3 days. And look at him. Crazy boy. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
the last poem I will read is called No Allegiance. I don't pledge allegiance to a flag because it never pledged allegiance to me. For the past week, I've wakened angry. My allegiance is to the one that gave his blood, not taking blood. I won't take my hat off, and I refuse to utter those words. The only reason why I stand is to stretch my legs, improving the circulation. I like this Star Spangled Banner song, the Whitney Houston version. My ancestors chose to sacrifice their lives even when the military was segregated. When the smoke cleared, no matter the skin color, all of the blood that was shed was red. I live in an at-will state, the city part that uses streetlights, where my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness can be sold if the price is right. Country police question me for working while Black. I lack any sympathy. I won't pledge allegiance to a flag because it never pledged allegiance to me. Many of these professional football players have bachelor's degrees, masters, and doctorates. The shut up and play mentality treats them like a slave trade or a meat market. I enjoy the protests. That's what my uncles fought for. Let their voice count. Let them use their platform. I've had older white men sit on the side of the road, waiting until I get off of work and attempting to kill me because I'm one less Blackie. trying to live the American dream. I live and love this neighborhood, but I'm not attracted to the drug dealers. I'm okay with rejecting the druggies, pill poppers, weed heads, and drunkards. How dare I not allow society to objectify, sexualize, and degrade me, a human being? I won't pledge allegiance to the flag because it never pledged allegiance to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. And next we have Ms. Sharetta Latrice. Sharetta Latrice. Hi. Can't hear you.
Hello.
Hey.
First, I just wanted to say thank you for asking me to be a part of this, Jason.
You're welcome.
Thank you to the Great Lakes Black Authors Expo and Writers Conference for having us. And I wanted to just end it out with one poem. When I heard the theme, Our History is American History, that really spoke to me. And I began to think about our history in general. The things that our ancestors overcame, and even the things that we still experience today, whether it's facing and fighting a pandemic, whether it is, dealing with racism. I just want us all to know as African Americans that we're loved, we are supported, and we come from a lineage of powerful individuals. And if they can overcome everything they did, we can too. And so Black History is the name of my poem. History. A word that caused many African Americans to feel disdain when they hear it. It tends to remind us of the experiences of our ancestors. They were abused, treated unfairly, and forced to work for free as slaves. Many historical accounts carry the connotation that they were not intelligent, but ignorant and belligerent, not capable of anything, especially independently caring for themselves or running their own business. In most cases, when you hear of Black history, you hear of us working in the field and read of beatings, rape, and slaughter, or see the watered down versions in history books that are written with words so vague as if we have voluntarily come to the States as pilgrimage. But there are a few chapters of change agents like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and Harriet Tubman. Then the page is turned, and it is as if we don't exist. However, when I hear history, I hear strength, dedication, and creativity. I think of heroes, innovators, and problem solvers. I get excited at the thought that my own existence reflects an ancestry of beautifully capable and competent Black people. People that fought for a right for us to receive an adequate education. Those who made the decision to learn and read even though they stood a chance of being beaten or killed, and who made the choice to march for unity using love as their shield. When I think of history, I am reminded of those who fought for equality, who band together to fight for my rights. Their hearts were broken so that we can have breakthrough. They prepared for freedom by day and searched for it underground at night. I think of the voices they used to sing hymns of freedom, their use of creativity amid pain felt and seen. I envision they pressed through discouragement by singing and praying and coped through rhythm and dance. They are the very reason we are encouraged to drum the beat of hope and write of endless possibilities with our pens in our hands. See, my history is more than a few names you hear about frequently. We persevere, though often look underestimated and treated like the privileges we have so far come easily. My history was full of coiled hair with beautiful textures, shapes, and sizes. They were kings and queens who looked just like me and you. And our ancestors are overcomers, truly the example that melanin was born to dominate and create too. They picked cotton, yet crafted some of the most beautiful architecture you see this day. They had hope in hopeless situations and took chances that brought forth change. They risked their lives to build a better foundation for us. They faced death and built history on our backs. And for the most part, we don't even know their names. We were blessed with minds designed to help you go high, carelessly going up to your destination in style. Did you know that melanin created the elevator? That was Alexander Miles. My history built the very lights we use to eliminate darkness, the traffic signal that helps you get to your destination safe, the spark plugs needed to help your car to get from place to place. It ran the calculations needed to send humans out in space, and invented the very cell phone you often hold to your ear, connected to your face. My history is full of lifesavers, created the first large blood banks, storing blood so that your life could be saved through transfusion. Dr. Charles Drew, no matter the race or religion, he had a heart to help save me and you. My history literally helped to save the heart that can pump out love or poison. Melanin created the pacemaker. That was Otis Boykin. My history is packed with survivors who believed in who they were and in who we are. Their power resonated from within and is passed down through our bloodlines, giving us the confidence to know who we are. My history is amazing, and I am confident my future is bright. And as I learn more about the amazing people that came before me, I am encouraged to walk by faith and not by sight. So if you ever doubt your ability, think of your ancestors who have gone before you, the incredible, intelligent, proud men and women of color who stayed strong when they should have lost their minds. They stood for what they believed in, were determined to bring about change. They advocated for your future so that one day you could look at your history and be encouraged by what known they knew all along. That from your lineage to you, there is greatness inside of you. And though oftentimes it seems as if our history is repeating, it is important to be reminded that it is currently being written. There are intelligent Black creators realizing their worth. Black minds so gifted that if cultivated, they could change the world for their best. Black nurses and doctors saving lives through revelation, operation, and tests. There are Black chefs in training, perfecting food that will unify the nations. Black professionals being developed and solidifying their greatness. There are Black techs in a lane of their own, breaking boundaries and barriers, making us forget that there were boundaries set for us in the first place. We are gaining tools that we need to succeed and make our ancestors proud. We are inventors like Thomas Edison. There are writers like becoming change agents like Zora Neale Hurston and Maya Angelou, who expressed how they felt and changed the world through creative expression. And as for me, I am witnessing history day by day as I rise and open up my eyes, determined to be better than yesterday, walking boldly and confidently through creativity, defeating the battle of anxiety that tries to overtake my mind. And regardless of the adversity that comes from complexity of my history, I'll use my voice and will no longer hide. This poem was just a reminder that through our heritage, history has been made in all sorts of ways. From the fountains we drink from, the lines we stand in, to the very seat I sit in as I ride to work, or from the smooth sounds of Miles Davis, or the best player in the world from my hometown, LeBron James. I am thankful to be from a lineage of people from which my history is made. There would be no history without our ancestry. Black history is American history. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. That's everyone. Awesome job, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Trying to get everybody on the screen, but I don't know. Let me see. Let me do it the other way. Because I want everyone to see you all one last time, because that was awesome. It was like a
Yes.
crescendo to the whole presentation. The way it just developed the whole time. I want to thank you all for your gifts. Thank you for bringing that offering to this finale of the conference. That was wonderful. That's all I got to say. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Poetry is Life Publishing. If
Thank you.
you've done a few anthologies, not just for Black people, so how would they get in touch with you if they want to become a part of your tribe?
Just visit me on Facebook, Poetry is Life Publishing, or contact me, www.poetryislifepublishing.com.
www.poetryislifepublishing.com.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your gifts again. And for all the people that watched, please reshare. Get the word out that we are here. In the Storyteller Magazine, we do have a poetry corner. So if anyone wants to get a poem published, we are a quarterly magazine that is available too. Jason Blakely also does a book review for each issue as well. So we are developing a community. We want to uplift Black authors as part of Great Lakes Black Authors. Join us, become a part of us. And next year's conference, 2022, hopefully will be in person. We plan to be in person in June. I'm going to move the conference to Juneteenth week because February there may be a blizzard next year and that may screw up the conference. So look for the conference information coming up for what's coming Juneteenth. So spread the word. We want to be able to have a packed house next year. So thank you all for joining the Great Lakes Black Authors. Until next time, see you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.